Okay guys, so we are building a gaming PC. It's official. This thing's gonna be a beast. Way better than all you suckers' computers. Combined. I'm putting a Intel i7 8700 processor in here. DDR4 RAM. Get wrecked, noobs. This PC will eat your PC for breakfast and poop it out. Maybe I shouldn't talk trash about how much better my PC is than my stream viewers when you guys are the ones that paid for this. I mean, my wife and I paid the majority, but my stream viewers did chip in. Okay. Ah! I sat down for no reason. I still gotta get the power supply. Ugh. Be right back. How much did the viewers give? The total was about $600. The viewers gave like, well, let me check. The viewers gave about $100, maybe 90. Viewers gave about $90. My wife and I paid the rest of the 600. Guys, I'm scared. Will this 400 watt power supply be enough? Because the $600 only covers the processor, the RAM, and the motherboard. The case and the power supply were already available. So is the monitor, keyboard, mouse. And even the video card is already available. So $600 is just for the cheapest motherboard and then really good RAM and processor. So that's why the RAM and processor is amazing for that price. Alright, that guy said he ran a calculator and it was fine, so YOLO. We'll be fine. I'm not gonna be maxing out much of anything anyways. Okay! Let's do this, boys! Uh-oh. I gotta eat first. Dagnabbit. Man, that cooked for a long time. Did I burn everything? I better not have. I'm gonna be mad. Oh, come on! Son of a... Man, I can't wait to see how fast Windows 7 installs. And an Intel i7 8700 processor with DDR4 RAM. And a SSD drive. I've never had a SSD drive before. I can't wait to see how fast this is. I've been told SSD drives are like turning your computer into turbo mode. I have a total nerd erection right now. Okay. First things first. First things first, we gotta clean this case a little more. I see cobwebs everywhere. Oh no. Okay. Guys, I'm showing you how. We don't suck. I was just trying to be a smart A. Your joke was a good one. I liked it. And you fooled me. I just am a sore loser. I didn't want to admit that your riddle made me lose. So I came up with a creative workaround. But you still can claim the victory. What do you expect me to do? Not go down without a fight? I'm a stubborn and resilient man. I'll always fight. Okay, we need PC screws. I imagine there's probably tons of PC screws that come with the motherboard, though. So I'm gonna take that out then. Now, technically, you're supposed to wear an anti-static discharge bracelet, which I do have one. I bought one. There was like 73 cents in free shipping. But I think that static discharge damaging PC components is a myth. And I ain't no sucker. Okay, I probably just broke my power supply by dropping it just then, which is not ideal. Dak nabbit! Oi! There's not a single screw in here. Don't make me stand up. Please don't make me stand up. You're telling me I gotta walk to the other room to get PC screws? Come on. Get a life. I guess those usually come with a case, that's why. Alright, let me get some screws. Dak nabbit. Never been so inconvenienced in my life. Where were we? Did that actually go in? Huh. I didn't think I caught the threads, but okay. I ain't gonna complain. I'm just gonna do 2 screws. I don't know why people would put 4 in. That's the point of that. Okay. Power supply is installed. Now for the motherboard. Alright, I think I'm gonna put in my processor now. I think it's easier, like, to put it in before you put the motherboard in. I don't know. Maybe that's not best practice, though. I'm gonna go ahead and abort that idea. We'll stick with best practice here. Okay, so let me just get this cabling out of the way for the moment. I don't know how to close that thing now. 2. We got 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. One there. Bam, bam. This one I don't like. Looks like I can't get it off though. Let me put this one right here. Alright. Can't see jack squat in here. The task, we're building a custom gaming PC. And I can't figure out why the screw didn't go in. Okay, it should have gone in. Wait a minute, what the heck? I swear, something's wrong with the screw. What the heck? I don't think this is the right screw. Alright, this will be good. This screw will be different. You guys aren't in here with me enough, are you? Gosh. I am struggling, man. Hmm. Alright, so we got 4 screws in. I would like to do one more screw, just for good measure. Something more centralized. I don't even know how many screws you're supposed to put in. But I ain't putting in every screw you can put in. There's too many available. Alright, that's good enough. I feel like processor next, right? After you have the processor, this thing can boot up. I might even boot it up just to test it, right? Do you guys test it right away? Or do you just install everything and hope it works? I feel like if you test it right away, that could save you some time if it's already not working. Like, you have a broken power supply, that would narrow it down right away. Because the more stuff you put in, the more it can go wrong. Or the more things could be wrong if it doesn't boot up. Hi Pablo, by the way. Intel Core i7, 8700, 3.2 gigahertz. That is not a lot of gigahertz. That's my only complaint. Ooh, it went in. Oh crap. I do not know how this lever mechanism works. I don't get it. I need both hands in a clear lap so I can try to figure this thing out. Ugh. What a mess. Oh, there we go. It goes under that screw. I got it. I think it does. Oof. This is scary, man. Hundreds of dollars at stake. I think we did it. And then we just need... So it's already got heatsink on it? Oh wow, I was going to put the thermal paste on here, but it comes with thermal paste. That's insane. That's sure not a lot of it, but... Hey, if they put it on, they put it on. I'm not going to add more. Who am I to say that they didn't put on enough? Okay, this switch is in the way of the fan, so that can't be right. Hi, Bakaboa. I'm building my custom gaming PC right now. Okay. How will this go on here? Says turn it to the left. Is that already? Man, I'm just going by feel and instinct. I'm not reading any directions or anything. I'm like a total idiot here. It says sysfan 1, so I'm guessing it's this one. Well, this is CPU fan. That would have been a mistake. So CPU fan. There we go. Well, yeah, we're okay. I think we could have made the Intel logo pointing upward, but it's fine sideways, I guess. Right? Yeah, should be fine. What's next? I kind of just want to run it bare bones. It doesn't need a video card. It doesn't need RAM. It might need one RAM stick. I think it does need one RAM stick. So we'll install some RAM here. But I want to see if it boots up here in a minute. How is the pizza? The pizza's good. And speaking of which, I do have to eat my pizza very shortly. I'm gonna give this thing a huge amount of hard drive space, I think. I have a bunch of old hard drives I think I can use. G-Skill. Why would somebody want a G-Skill sticker? Throwing that in the garbage. Oh, great. Now I can't get the RAM out of the package. Okay, I got it. Feel the rush of DDR4 performance. Intel Inside Core supports. Ripjaw. Latest DDR4 designed for maximum capability. I like to keep all the packaging just in case if I need to return something. I always open up stuff very carefully. Alright. Which one are they ordered? I bet they are. Alright, I'm Googling it. We need help. Crap, something just fell. That's never good. I think it was one of my G skills. Alright, place it in the first and in the third. There we go. That's all I needed to see. So... Okay. Got a RAM stick in. I kind of want to just boot it up and see what happens. That would inspire me with confidence. What do you guys think? Does that sound like the best course of action to you? Okay. There we go. Oh man. We're not okay here. This power supply won't work. Oh goodness gracious. Alright, I'm gonna need to switch back to Google mode and have my pizza. We're kind of screwed here at the moment. Might have to buy power supply. Let me start the pizza first. Yeah, but I don't know if the extra 4 pins should be on the top or split 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I don't know. So that's why I have to know where I'm plugging in these smaller deals. Alright, so it says, wait, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, and 6. Okay, so you put it on the bottom for the big boy and on the right for the little guy. Okay. Let me just show you guys what I learned here. So basically, it's called the ATX 12 volt 2x4 power connector. And then there's the 2x12 main power connector. Now, the 12 volt 2x4 ATX powers the CPU. Now, this says pin 1, 2, 5, and 6 are only for 2x4 pin 12 volt. Okay, so this is pin 1, and here's pin 4. So that means this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5. And that's a 6, or that's a 8, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is pin 1 and 2, which is these two. And then pin 5 and 6, which is these two, correspond to pins only used for that type of connector. They wouldn't have put that in parentheses unless if it meant that you don't use them if you use the smaller type of connector, which is the one that would just provide pins 3, 4, 7, and 8. So if you have the smaller connector, just stick it on pins 3, 4, 7, and 8, so the right half, and ignore that half. So I put that half in parentheses, meaning that half is optional, that half is only used if you have the larger size connector. And then the same principle applies here. Pins 11, 12, 23, and 24 are here, 11, 12, 23, and 24. You only use them if you have the larger size connector. And we don't. We have the smaller size connectors, so we put it on the bottom 20 pins, and we cut out these top 4. That's why I put them in parentheses. So I drew these parentheses here. And so we're putting our 20 pin connector on the bottom set and our 4 pin connector on the right side. Now, people will say in forums who don't know what they're talking about that that's going to cause problems and blah, blah, blah. No. It's just meant as a way to send more amps of power. But we don't need to send more amps of power. We're not overclocking. We don't have dual SLI configured massive video cards that are overclocked. We're just going basic older video card, basic non-overclocked power CPU. So we don't need all that extra horsepower. So we just put it. So here's the thing, and we're putting it on the right half for our 12 volt CPU power plug. Boom. That's in now. And then our 20 pin connector, again, because this is an older power supply made for a Pentium 4. Our 20 pin connector will go into the bottom 20 of the 24 pin motherboard connector. The top 4 was for if you had the extra pins available from your power supply unit. My power supply unit does not have those available, so you leave the top 4 free. And with that in place, all we need now is an SSD drive. I think you can boot it up without, yeah, you can boot to BIOS without a hard drive, but I think it would just give you an error saying no hard drive detected. In fact, I'm pretty sure it would say that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and holy cow, this comes with a CD? Why? The CD was like glued onto here. Oh, is it a CD? Manual and software CD. See, I really have to wonder. One stop install navigation, manual and software? See, I have to guess that a hard drive, or a solid state drive in this case, comes with software just in case if you're installing it on a, like Windows 95 and you don't have drivers, but if you're using Windows 7 or newer, I'm pretty sure it's going to have already every driver you'd need for basic types of... Holy cow, this thing's light. Basic types of SSD cards. So anyways, oh my. What? Okay, this is too funny. Apparently... No, we should be okay. Need my box of tricks again. Okay, where are cables? I don't see any cables in here. No cables. Okay, let's put this here. Backup utilities? Oh, interesting. Here we go. Here's an adapter for old school cable and new school. So that's probably what we'll be needing here. Good thing I checked in here. Oh, here's some more adapters like that. Great. I also need a cable to run from the motherboard to the SSD. Looks like this one does that. There we go. Man, it's a good thing I don't throw anything away. It's a 160 GB hard drive. What a piece of junk. It's so small. Might use it anyways. Man, am I glad I kept these cables. Goodness. It's like you end up with all this extra junk when you build a PC. And 9 times out of 10, you'll never need it again, but keeping a box of this stuff sure came in handy just now, because this All my new stuff came with nothing, man. So this stuff is gonna save me here. For one thing... Okay, so this is the power. We wouldn't have been able to power our SSD. Now we can. And we have an adapter to go to our old school power stuff, which is here. Bam. So now our SSD has power. And it needs a data cable. That one is 100 feet long. Good grief. Why would somebody use something that big? Maybe stick it, like feed it outside of the computer? I mean, that thing's literally 6 feet long. I guess some people want their data cable to reach out past the computer. Okay, this is called a serial ATA cable. Wait. 0123. I want 0. Why can't they just say 1, 2, 3, 4? Stupid programmers, man. Like, most people don't start with 0 being... What place do you get in the race Saturday? I got in 0th place. No, only a software developer would say that. It's ridiculous. Alright, so I'm just gonna chuck... This is how you professionally mount an SSD. You just chuck it in a corner. No, I actually don't know what you're supposed to do. Maybe you're supposed to mount it like this. But I can't be bothered. I'll just stick it in the corner. Like that. Hey, whoever said I have OCD, clearly they were lying. If I had OCD, I wouldn't have done that, would I? Okay, so we have a hard drive. I will be booting from thumb drive, by the way. I agree with that. I have a thumb drive I can do that on. Although I do have a CD DVD player here that I might install just in case if I ever want to burn a DVD, which I have done. I've burned my sister a DVD of some music one time. Good for airflow. Psh. Speaking of airflow, this case doesn't have a front fan. Anyways, I think the side fan is all you need for airflow. I keep my room cool anyways. Maybe that matters if you live in the desert. Okay, that was retarded. Scene switching because my water bottle fell on my mouse? Give me a break. I see no reason why this wouldn't work. Let me look for a power cable then. Alright, I got one. I'm just gonna plug it in and see if any lights come up or whatever. Nothing. I would bet that this power cable isn't plugged in then. Seems like it is plugged in though. Testing. Thank you. I'm feeling stuck right now. What if I put this on the left? Nope, won't even go in. Huh. Okay, so that's kind of enforced. I mean, everything's connected up right. It seems like we have a dead, broken power supply, then. Connect the green wire with the adjacent black wire. Let's try it. Okay. So I want to unplug this so it doesn't damage anything. And we'll unplug this. We want green and adjacent black. Okay. Alright, so let's get out some jumper wire. We want green, and it could be any black actually, now that I think about it. And black. Alright. And now I'm just going to plug it in. This will show me if the power supply is dead or not. The power supply fan should come on if the power supply is not broken. Ooh! Power supply fan is on! What the heck? Power supply's working, boys. What does that tell me? That's hilarious that the power supply worked just now. I thought the power supply would have to be dead. And it's not. Wow, the mystery unfolds. Okay, now I'm intrigued. And I didn't even think that test was going to work. That was easier than I thought. So I feel really good to see that the power supply is not dead. I don't have the front panel power button connected. Are you guys saying that you think that's the issue? I saw a lot of cords coming from the front power, so I don't know which one is for the front power input output, or the front power button. But my point is, being able to power it on, like, shouldn't matter. If you have the power supply connected, the motherboard indicator light should come on, like a red LED. That's not coming on, so attaching the front panel power button won't make a difference. The motherboard indication light has to come on. That's number one. Alright, back to the motherboard manual then. Doesn't say anything about no light coming on. Yeah, obviously, that's my first guess too, Blue Mania. That's a great observation. But the board specifically mentions kind of like a handling of not having those pins. There we go. Determine if your motherboard's dead. That's perfect. Because we know it's not the power supply. What does that leave? Motherboard. Alright, so they got some stuff I can try here. It's all about troubleshooting. Okay. So we're gonna definitely take out the hard drive. That's not necessary, and that could be our problem. Okay. I should say SSD drive. I'm I'm gonna plug the system fan into this other slot. Well, it says CPU fan though. You know what? I think I'm fine with my CPU fan being where it says CPU fan, for crying out loud. And let me take out the RAM entirely. Gonna connect the motherboard and CPU power supplies. And now I'm gonna power up the power supply. I don't see any status light. Yeah, it says it's for a Pentium 4 computer. Oh, I swear, I bought this off eBay. I thought it'd be fine. I trust eBay. Uh... Power LED. Plus on the left, minus on the right. I don't know what the point of this is. What's up, Chosen? So that failed. Let me just make sure this thing's on again. Huh? The heck? What is going on? I thought if you take the 24 pin and you short green and black, you're good. What? Nothing. All right, we're back to testing the power supply now. I did that. Connect green with black. You should be good. Unless if this came unplugged. This is this is so silly, man. Alright, let me test the plug again. $114 AC. The plug is live. So that ruled out a bad plug. We know it's plugged in. And that just leaves, again, the power supply. Put our jumper back in green and black. Oh, now it's working. Alright, so maybe it wasn't plugged in all the way? Huh? Oh my. It's working, guys. was working. It's working again. Alright, so with the power supply turned on, there is no LED indicator on this board at all. I find that shocking. That was what was throwing me off. I was like, okay, power supply is on, LED indicator should be on, right? But there is none. So that was very misleading. I didn't think I needed to connect the front power connector because I had no status light. I figured it's a dead motherboard or dead PSU. I'm not getting either one of those things. It's just the fact that this motherboard does not have a ready status green or red LED. And this is a very popular motherboard. The first one recommended on PCPartPicker.com. Okay, now it's dead again? All I did is switched it off. Oh my gosh. Alright, let me test again. That's weird. All I did was shut off the switch to the power supply. Then when I try to turn it back on, dead. Alright, it's working. Let's plug it in. I don't know what's happening now. Did I have these in before? Oh, I'm pressing reset maybe? I was pressing reset! Ah, it has a power and a reset. I was pressing reset. Most cases I work with just have a power button, not a power and a reset. Okay, so it is powering on. Let me try it again. Off. On. Off. On. On. Off. On. On. Off. On. On. Off. On. Alright, I want to see if I need this thing, what it's for. I believe it's for the front power LED. It's this big LED strip on the front. On. On. Yeah, it's just for the LED strip on the front. In fact, I'm going to label that. Okay. So now we're ready to try it with RAM. See if that screws anything up. It looks like we're making good progress here. This is taking a long time. Everything just keeps going against us. So what have we learned so far? I believe we learned that the power supply wasn't working before because the power plug was not plugged all the way into it. So that was one mistake. Another mistake is we tried powering on the motherboard with the reset switch instead of the power switch. That was mistake number 2. Well, mistake number 3 is we're trying to plug in components with the power live. That's not good. Now we're trying to put in the RAM upside down and force it. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. RAM's in. Plug in the power. All the way. On. On. We're good, and it's not doing that flashing stuff. The flashing was because it didn't detect RAM. That was error flashing. I thought it was flashing because it didn't have enough power, so that taught us something. Fantastic. Alright, just learned something else. I wasn't sure which side of the power supply was on, which side was off. Turns out off is the little circle. And on is the little line. So I'm going to write a little note labeling that. Why is this pen not writing well? Now I need to troubleshoot my pen performance? So I have a troubleshooting PC and I have to troubleshoot a pen too? Damn it. Can everything just work? Alright. I'm labeling things so I don't keep getting messed up by stuff. Okay. Now what? I say we see if, well, shoot, it's booting. I guess I could put back in the SD card. Well, shoot. I kind of have full faith in the whole system now at this point. I can just go ham now. I'm going to put in everything. Heck with it. I mean, it's unlikely anything else can go wrong. Everything already has gone wrong that will go wrong. Like, I've built computers before. It might not seem like that, but you guys have to understand. I haven't built one in a while, and I'm running into a lot of weird problems that are not typical. Okay, we got both RAMs. I'm gonna try switching on up. I'm so darn paranoid at this point. Okay, I switch it off. 2 RAMs working. Now let's go. Uh, Goodness, I feel like if I sneeze on this thing, it's gonna stop working. I'm paranoid out of my mind right now. Let's see. I want to put away that jumper. I don't even know where I put it. Oh, it's on the floor. Of course it's on the floor. I'm kind of resetting now. I just want to get organized, put away things that don't need to be out anymore. We are getting our second wind here. I mean, a minute ago I was all but sure that this... In fact, Blue Mania and I agreed, like, there's a good chance that this PSU will not work, and we were both biased toward that, so we ruled out the possibility that this motherboard just doesn't have a status indicator light when it's plugged into power, which was the case. So we automatically assumed the motherboard and PSU were not compatible when in fact they were, but the motherboard was just a weird motherboard that had no ready indicator LED light. That's got to be unheard of. So of course I'm going to be running into problems and look like a noob idiot when I'm dealing with a motherboard that's very poorly designed as far as having no LED indicator light when it has power. So that was a huge red flag, making me think it was dead, and I never even bothered to put in the front power button, because why should I try to power it up if it's got no status LED indicating that it's even getting power from the power supply to begin with? I had no reason to believe that the motherboard would suddenly work when it doesn't even have a status LED indicator light. That's completely counterintuitive. Alright, we got audio, USB for the front, and another power cable for the front. For who knows what. We don't want any of that stuff. I can care less. And I can also care less about the front power strip lighting. So all those cables I just tucked in the back. I'm ready for that SSD card. Or SSD. Okay. SSD can go. Again, another exceptional circumstance. We needed a adapter to adapt the power for our SSD because our old school power supply did not have that kind of power. Okay, we're going to put it in the RAID 0 or SATA 3 RAID 0 spot, the upper right. I'm guessing that's the correct one. Okay. And you know what? With that plugged in, I'm just going to try to power it up again. Heck with it. Perfect, it worked. I heard a weird rattling though. Let me try that again. It's doing weird stuff. But maybe it's just complaining that after I installed the SSD, it started that. The flashing and stuff. Watch, with the SSD out. Nope. Oh, there's the flashing again. That's odd. Alright, well, maybe it has to do with the second RAM stick. I'll put the SSD back in. I mean, I know I'd maybe don't have to do this, but I kind of just am trying to rule out weird things that are happening without even having the monitor plugged into this. Okay, what happens without this RAM stick? It might be that it was flashing because... No, it's still flashing. Alright, well, I don't know what the flashing means then. Maybe it's flashing... Actually, I have no clue. I actually don't know. Two RAM sticks or one didn't matter. It flashed either way. Oh, this time it didn't flash! I don't get that. So, these could just be intermittent errors based on whatever the BIOS is thinking at that time. I don't really know. Maybe it's even flashing because it's missing the keyboard and mouse. Could be any number of things, I suppose. Okay, so... HDMI? Okay, we do have a problem. Well, okay. My monitor does not support HDMI. Well, it might. It might, but... I've never tried using it. I just use the normal... whatever you might call it. So I'm just gonna put... I want the video card from the PC I'm streaming from right now in here ultimately. But for the time being, just to get Windows installing and all that junk, I'm gonna... Like, I don't want to end my stream, so I'm gonna just put in a temporary video card. And... we'll go from there. Because... I need something. Okay. DVI to HDMI adapters. No, I don't think I have that. I'm using this kind of output thing. I have a VGA to that type of adapter. Comes with every video card usually. But yeah, I'm using VGA for my monitor, I believe it's called. I don't even want to screw that in though. I don't think I need to screw it in, right? Let's try to not screw it in. Okay, so my monitor is now unplugged from my normal PC that I'm streaming from, so I cannot see what you guys are saying. I'm plugging it into this PC. Ugh. Oh gosh. I have the wrong kind of adapter here. Oh my gosh, man. Okay, let me go get my other adapter. Okay, so I got the right kind of adapter now. Looks like this. It's a weird adapter. I didn't think I needed this thing. I actually was trying to get rid of it a while ago. Good thing I still have it. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't really know what I want to show you guys right now. Let's see. Scene. Okay. Let's just do that way. Okay. Oh yeah. You know, I will go ahead and screw in this video card because I don't even know where my screwdriver is though. Where'd I put it? That thing could be anywhere by now. Alright, that's not gonna work. Oh, here's the screwdriver. Grr. It's not where it goes. Gosh, this screw won't go in. Why can't all these PC related screws just be the same kind? That's my question. Must have had the wrong thread pitch? I don't know. Okay, so we got that screwed in. Put this screw away that didn't work. Alright. I'm probably gonna want my USB stick now. Here it is, buried away deep behind my stapler and stuff. Well, that's good news. So we're not completely irresponsible. It's not like I'm misplacing things. They just get slid a little bit out of view. Okay. USB's in. That's a bootable USB with Windows 7. Monitor's plugged in. Power's on. Powering up. No. The cable's not in. Great. Just great. Has to be something. No. I need... My gosh! No! I'm missing one critical component. That's a mouse and keyboard. So I have to get my spare mouse and keyboard out of the closet. I swear, like, it's just one thing after the next. Next time I'm going to pay somebody. Oh, that's why I keep unplugging the cable, because I've got to set the computer down each time next to me, and I don't have a place to put it. Ah. Be right back. Okay, I couldn't find an extra mouse because this is my spare mouse. I forgot I already was using my spare mouse as my regular mouse because all of my top mice are broke. So we're already on backup mode. So if we have a keyboard, that's all we need. We don't need a mouse. We're a power user, remember? Okay. Okay. We got a keyboard, we got SSD, everybody's happy. This SSD is kind of annoying me though now. I think I'm gonna tape it. Should I tape it? That seems best. Yeah, I repaired a mouse and then I threw it on my bed one day and it no longer worked. So then I added repairing it to my to-do list, which is buried because my to-do list is a monster. And someday I'll get to it, of course, but that day is not today. Okay, so this will keep this SSD from like annoying me anymore. And I don't really want to use screws because I feel like that's overkill and it'll just take a long time to get out. Why is this? Okay, I'm just needing to be comfortable right now. Deep breath. Think it through. I've got bootable Windows. I've got this. RAM. Everything's good. Later, we're gonna get everything going on this computer. And we'll eventually, once this computer's fully set up, then we'll shut off my streaming PC, swap the video cards, and then continue setting up this computer with this as my main computer at that point. But until that point, until Windows is installed, everything's verified working, we will not swap main PC. Okay, so we're ready for the monitor swap, so I won't be able to read chat. This is the only monitor I have because my other monitor is broken. No, of course it doesn't work because the power cable is not in. Again. Okay. Ooh! Something's happening on the monitor. Well, that was a slow boot up to BIOS. Goodness. But we're in. Peripherals. Initial display output. PCIe 1 slot. Onboard LAN controller enabled. Easy RAID. Above 4G decoding disabled. RGB fusion. Onboard LED on. RGB fusion LED strip. Blue. Intel platform trust technology disabled. SW guard extension. Software controlled. Realtek PCIe GBE family controller. Off-board SATA controller, trusted computing, Super I/O configuration, Intel BIOS guard technology, network stack configuration, NVMe configuration, USB configuration, SATA and RST configuration. Chipset. I want the BIOS to boot using my USB. Storage boot option control. UEFI legacy or do not launch. I don't know what UEFI is. CSM support enabled. LAN PXE, boot option ROM disabled. Mouse speed, fast boot disabled. Boot option 1, enter. Escape. Full screen logo show enabled. Security option system. Boot up numlock state on. Oh, this is unlike any BIOS I've ever seen. Where's the option to boot by CD, boot by this, boot by that? Boot option 1. Huh. What if I just went to save and exit? What would happen? Save and exit setup. Save configuration, yes. I didn't change anything, but yes. No signal. Alright, it's restarting. Press any key to boot from thing should be what it says. Boot menu is F12. And Q flash is with BIOS setup. Q flash is delete. Boot menu is F12. Select boot device. Enter setup. Watch this take me back to BIOS. It took me back to BIOS. Boot up numlock state on. Security options system. Full screen logo show enabled. Boot option priorities. Fast boot disabled. Mouse speed. CSM support enabled. LAN PXE boot option ROM disabled. What about peripherals USB configuration? What would that do? Legacy USB support enabled. XHCI handoff disabled. USB mass storage driver support enabled. Port 6064 emulation enabled. Mass storage devices ScanDisk Cruiser 1.2.7. It's set for auto. It could be floppy, forced, FDD, hard disk, CD-ROM. What's a FDD? I set it as a hard disk. Maybe now if I go back to BIOS and boot option 1, it will show up? No. Boot override, save profiles. Select file in FDD, HDD, USB. No drive found. Load profiles. Boot record, last known good. Okay. Save and exit. Yes. End is Q flash. F12's boot menu, F9 system information, BIOS setup Q flash. I'll press end. Q flash manager, no disk drive found. Okay. How do I boot from my USB? It's a bootable USB. Alt is help. Temperature, voltage, memory. Alright, plan B. I'm shutting this bad boy off. And I'm not going to boot from USB. It's not acknowledging my USB, so I'm going to boot from old school, a DVD drive. Oh goodness. Maybe a different DVD drive? There we go. This one's more modern. Let's see. We will need this bad boy. No. Yes? No. I don't know what the heck this thing is. Hey, I don't think it's recognizing my SSD card. Is that my issue? Interesting. That might be it. FDD cable. I don't even know what that is. What fell? Okay. I have a couple ideas now. I want to assume that it's not detecting this thing at all, because I didn't see any mention of it. So I'm going to say we use this HDD instead, under the assumption that the SSD is like not working. I just want to see what happens. We can later make the SSD work and then install Windows on it later. Okay, so let's try it like that. Okay, now it's... Actually, this thing has Windows on it. It might just boot up. Let's see what happens with that. All I did is swap that out, and I took out the ScanDisk Cruiser USB, I believe. And I put it somewhere. Oh, that's right. I also wanted to try out using this other CD-ROM drive. Okay, I don't see where I put my ScanDisk. Where did I put my USB, guys? I don't see it. I mean, we said we're not going to use it. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got to put it back here. Alright. So we have everything found. This we think has Windows on it. I'm going to see what happens if we just boot it up with Windows. It has no bootable USB anymore. We're going to just do that, and then the next step will be to try to hook up a CD and install Windows through a CD. Alright. Switch that on. Switch this on. We're back to BIOS. I wonder if anything changed. Storage boot option control. UEFI. I don't get it. Peripherals. USB configuration. Legacy USB enabled. Handoff disabled. Enabled. Okay. I've never had this problem before. Huh. Load profiles. No drive found. Why does it say that? Oh, maybe we have... maybe we had the hard drive in the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? Heck, maybe we had the SSD in the wrong one. We're putting it on the... Whoa, wait a minute. We've been plugging our SSD and our hard drive into these on the right. They say SATA 3. But maybe they should be in the PCIe X1? Alright, let me read chat. I think chat might have something to say at this point. This whole time I couldn't read chat because my only monitor's been plugged into the PC I'm working on. So I'm just going to kind of catch up. We have some problems here. I need more SATA cables, is what I think I need. This is not a SATA cable, is it? What is this thing? Oh, this is a HDMI cable. Huh. We don't need this. We need a SATA cable. Yeah, it was not acknowledging my USB at all. My bootable USB drive. Oh no, it did recognize it. I take that back. That's it. Which SATA 3 do you install in? There's got to be an order. Maybe that's why it didn't seem to be detecting any of the hard drives I connected. Guys, who can help me? It doesn't seem like it offered the ability to boot from... Whoa. It didn't seem... Okay. Number one, I don't think it detected my SSD card at all. Number two, it did detect my bootable USB thumb drive, but it did not list that as a boot option. So that's what I'm curious to know. And what is UEFI? What the heck is that? Alright, I will use Google. You're right, Dimebag. You just helped me. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, I feel my very best bet would be to install a DVD player and go from there. So that's how I'm going to do this from my approach here. Okay. Be right back. Okay. So, I just decided a handful of things. Number one, we're definitely going to need more SATA cable, which we just got. Okay. I'm going to be stealing a power supply from my other computer, by the way. It's a better power supply. And this is going to be my main computer, so it should have the best power supply I can manage to find. Okay. We got ourselves here a CD DVD drive, which I'm installing. Okay, and I'm going to want to actually screw that in. Hi, Sereno. And I'm going to go back to my SSD drive. Well, no. Yeah, I'll stick with the SSD drive. Because it's brand new. Okay. Putting these back into here. good. And good. Okay. Now we need to plug this in to the CD drive, and then it's going to need power as well. I should probably plug the power in first, though. So let's get the power going, like so. Okay, that's a good fit, and then I'll get this bad boy plugged in here, like so. Good. Okay, make sure everything's seated well. No surprises. And now we plug in this. Okay, he's in. Okay, so now we've got a CD and that. The CD we're gonna have to open and put in our CD. Okay. I think I have my CDs in this box here. I don't. Okay, it's gotta be in my closet then. Be right back. Oh man. One thing after the next today. I'm not sure why I would do this all in one day. This is as bad as doing my taxes, to be honest. I'm not enjoying this. I'm about to take the rest of the night off any minute now. I don't know how much more I can take. I've had to stand up 50 times. Okay guys, so this is going to require a decent amount of research and a whole bunch more troubleshooting. This BIOS is completely weird and foreign. It doesn't have any ability to do anything that normal BIOSes I can quickly do. I have to figure out why when I select boot device priority, it's got literally a menu of 3 items. Usually you select USB or CD-ROM drive or hard drive. On their menu, each listing in the menu is a box that has no text in it. And you can highlight different boxes that are empty of text. Clearly that's a bug. It's not populating those menus properly. I don't know what's wrong. So I need to look into this. Most likely, if it's just a matter of that, you just go to device boot priority. You'd select USB. You'd hit enter. You'd save and exit. Also, when I save and exit, none of the changes I made go through. All the changes that I make in the BIOS before I save and exit are being eradicated and reverting to default settings without me telling it to. So it's like it's disregarding any changes I make to the BIOS. This BIOS seems very buggy, very untested, very poorly executed. I'm very disappointed. I need to find out workarounds and solutions for all of this. That's beyond the scope of just building a PC. Now we're getting into a whole new slew of other things, and we've already run into a ton of technical difficulties with this motherboard installation. And it's just beyond the scope of what I can do today. I've already been streaming for 10 hours. This was supposed to be a 40-minute job, and then we're off to whatever's next on my to-do list. It ended up taking 6 hours, and we're still only a third of the way through getting a new computer set up. So it's going to require a ton more research. I'm not going to do that today. I still haven't eaten much today. I ate a few things. So I'm going to prepare the rest of my meals, call it a full work day. I did what I could, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and, try to resolve these issues. I might look into it a little bit tonight if I get curious about a couple things. But I'll be pondering what might have caused some of these issues. And yeah, so we didn't get done everything we thought we were going to get done today, but sometimes that happens in life. We'll just pick it up where we left off tomorrow.